Hey guys, it's Ashton. This week's topic is bullying. Speaking of bullying, there's my bully, one of them. Anyway, that was cheesy. But we're talking about bullying. I'm going to assume that the definition of bullying will be anything not just physical, but mental and, verbal and emotional bullying. How it's affected me personally. I was the subject of bullying a lot when I was in high school because of my weight, or like I was still very much a tomboy, or let's see, a lot of things. Actually, probably the person who bullied me the most would be my stepfather, who was a D-bag. He was an alcoholic. So yeah, that's what happened with that. But it definitely, especially as a teenager, when you're in, it's the most difficult time in your life. You're distracting. Anyway, it's the most difficult time in your life, and so any kind of bullying can definitely have like a severe mental effect on you. It's even affected me into my later years with just self-confidence issues and self-esteem, like the way I look at myself, even beyond like the gender scope, just like with, not feeling attractive or, So, how did I overcome it? Well, honestly, it just kind of happened over a certain length of time. You learn to grow up, and you learn to let things go, and you learn that, people who say those things to you, their words don't mean anything anyway. So, I guess, how do you handle it? Same thing. This is a really hard topic because I haven't dealt with this in a long time. How do you handle it? I let it go for the most, I let it roll off my back as much as I possibly can. I'm also very aware of what's a safe space to me and what is not, and I choose to live my life in those spaces. So I still am very much a part of the queer community, and that's where I'm going to choose to stay. And I would say that that's the smartest thing too, and also don't go places that you don't feel safe by yourself. Always have a friend with you. That's the best way. Just avoid being in unsafe situations by yourself. I know avoidance sucks, and we shouldn't have to tiptoe around these situations, but for the time being, that's all we can do. We shouldn't have to tiptoe because the situation shouldn't be happening, but that's in a perfect world, and we don't live in that. So, how can we stop it, if anything? I personally try to stop it. I feel like a lot of bullying comes from ignorance. Grimace! Sorry, do something in your face. Anyway. A lot of bullying comes from ignorance, and so I take it upon myself to try and educate everybody who will listen to me. I go and talk to classes at some of the at university. Anybody who will talk to me, I will talk to them about my experience and who I am, and how it doesn't have to be something that you're scared of, and just trying to educate people so they understand not only gender, but also sexuality. I'll talk to anybody, because for me sexuality is very fluid, and I consider myself queer. I'm still only attracted to women, but I still see myself as very queer. So, and it's hard for people to get that sometimes, so I try and explain it to them as much as I can. So through education, for sure. The other thing that I try to do is, you never know, your interaction with somebody might be the only time that they've ever had a one-on-one interaction with a gay person or a trans person. It applies to anybody within the community. And so whenever I do have those interactions, rather than being really defensive, I try super hard to be the better person, because, I mean, you never know. They might walk away from a situation with a better outlook on things, but those are the kinds of things that I do to help stop it. I don't think, no one person can fix the problem, but definitely it all has to start with one voice, I think is what my girlfriend says. So I am not, and this is just, I guess a blanket statement, I'm not always the most positive person, and I don't always do the right thing, but I try to. And I try to educate people, and I try really hard not to be angry with people, because I don't really think anger solves anything. So, and I know that, but sometimes it happens. So, education, kindness, I'm trying to learn. I have 2 friends who are social workers that are probably 2 of the best people I've ever met in my life, and I'm trying to learn from them. So, advice, I think that's the same thing as like all those other questions, but like phone numbers and stuff, I'm going to put a screenshot up from, it's from my Tumblr, but it's a post that I've seen around a few times that has a bunch of hotlines on it in case you need to contact anybody about any issues that you might be having. So I'm just going to flash that here when I'm done, and then I will see you guys next week.